What's up, everybody? Soul here with another video for your viewing pleasure, and today we got some big news with No Rest for the Wicked. Absolutely loving this game. They dropped patch 1, has a ton of new stuff in it. Can't wait to dip into it and experience it all. But before that, let's see what the patch notes say, and so we know what all's involved. Getting right into it, let's see what they say. They say, hey folks, this update comes straight from community feedback. It matters, guys. PvP duels, text chat, callouts, realm diary, and comfort system. This one's yours. Before we head down the final stretch towards launch, we wanted to get this into your hands. Early access only works if we listen, and we are. So take that for what it says. I keep saying it on my videos. If you've been with me, you know. I think this is coming sooner than we realize. And they say it right here. Before we head down the final stretch towards launch. It's coming, guys. We're nearly there. Go to your friends, decorate your home, show us what you've got. No Rest for the Wicked is evolving into an even deeper, more skill-driven experience. And this is just the beginning. Don't forget, No Rest for the Wicked's 30% off on Steam. Bring your friends. Let's go. 30% off. Guys, get in it. If you're debating, you're not sure, check out the content. I got some videos on it if you want to see it. And yeah, let's get into it. All right, here we go. This is what we can expect. Patch 1, performance. Performance pass on the VFX graphs, batching/instancing, fixed pooling issues for Caretaker Wolf Summon and Winged Brood Sludge Pool, expanded Gib pieces, pool count, and null utility runes and pool when going back to main menu. So cool. Quality of life fixes. Rune menu update. Rune menu at Eleanor now allows you to swap the slots of runes. Quality of life, right? Gestures radial wheel update. Gestures can now be quickly selected by holding the binding, selecting a gesture and letting go, including in quick succession. All new visuals of the gesture wheel and callouts. Fantastic. They added some additional contextual text for inviting others to the realms on the invite screen. Updated the loading screen to include the realm name and the character name and level that is currently being used. Fantastic. And then added UI aspect ratio options, allowing players to constrain the interface to different aspect ratios while playing on ultra wide displays. Pretty great. I'm not one of those, but that's pretty great. Multiplayer, PvP duels. Challenge your friends to a duel. Don't just kill them and blindside them. Challenge them to a duel. You can find this option by interacting with them, the same interaction used to find the trade menu. Duels can be started anywhere in Isola Sacra. Find an interesting location and throw down the gauntlet. Maybe include traps, hazards, enemies to add a challenge to your duels. That's pretty cool. And then the loser is decided when their health reaches 0 or one player leaves the bounds. Sumo wrestling, anyone? Once the duel is over, your health is restored and no durability is lost. Fantastic move on that one. Realm diary. Your realm is now your story. Events from your adventures are marked major events and minor events and can be viewed in your realm screen. That's fantastic. And then read through the realm diary to check up on what others have been doing in the realm while you were away. We've got receipts, guys. So when they're farming the realm and you're like, hey man, I know you were on for like 6 hours when I got off. Like, what happened? They'd be like, no, I didn't. You got receipts. It's pretty great. Text chat. Send messages with fellow realm citizens via the new text chat. All messages sent will also appear as a chat bubble above your character to other nearby realm inhabitants. Cool, I like that. All realm diary entries will also show up in the text chat so that important events can be seen immediately without accessing the realm diary. That's pretty phenomenal. And then callouts. Use callouts via the gesture menu to quickly make a request or give information to fellow realm inhabitants. Callouts will appear as a chat bubble above your character for other realm inhabitants, and also in the text chat. Pretty phenomenal there. Systems. All right, here we go. Comfort system. Increase your comfort level to gain various benefits when you sleep in your bed, not just any bed, by placing housing items in your home. Higher quality housing items will give higher levels of comfort. Okay, it's something that's similar to what they got going on in RimWorld, like the quality of the room goes up and so on. You get bonus comfort points by placing varied items in your home. The higher comfort level will grant you increased and additional benefits when you sleep. Forgive my dyslexic mind there. But Bear is comfort of 0. It's 30 minutes and then a plus 20 to max health. And so that's interesting. Basic is required, a comfort level of 25, 40 minutes, and the buff, that's a buff, mind you. The duration, plus 30 max HP and plus 5 max stamina. Comfortable requires 50 comfort, 50 minutes is the duration, 40 health, 5 stamina, 20 max focus. Cozy, 100 comfort, 60 minutes, 50 health, 10 stamina, and 25 focus. Luxurious, which is 150 comfort, so it's a pretty big jump there between each one. You get in your basic, your Bear to basic seems fine, then it goes up to comfortable, it's 25, and then you go up by 50s. And it's going to jump up even more after Luxurious, but we'll get there. Anyway, 75-minute buff on Luxurious, 60 health, 10 stamina, and 35 focus. They're not really wanting to move on the stamina too much, but that's understandable. But then we get to Opulent. Opulent requires a comfort level of 250. That's 100 jump from the last one. 90-minute buff, 70 health, 15 stamina, and 50 max focus. Really interesting there. Fantastic stuff. Balance. These changes focus on reducing extreme outliers, improving build diversity, and making combat interactions more consistent across the board. Facets. They rebalanced various facets based on player feedback. What does that mean? Maybe we'll get some more details down the line. Regardless, enhancements. Rebalance various enhancements to reduce extreme scaling and improve build diversity. It's vague, but whatever. Rings. Adjusted ring enhancements to create clearer build identities and reduce extreme outliers. So I think they talked about this slightly. Forgive my little caveat right here. But they talked about this in the Q&A, and they did that, and I kind of criticized the Q&A. It's talking about how they're kind of just for hanging out talking. And that's not really criticism so much as an observation. But regardless, they did talk about how some people were just breaking the game, creating crazy strong builds and this, that. I guess that's what this is really about. And by being vague, they're kind of avoiding making it known because that might be distasteful to some people. I don't know. That's speculation. Moving on, Vials. Vials of defense now grant plus 10 points to all tiers. Adjusted vial scaling to better align survivability and resource gain across tiers. Fantastic. Bows rework. This is the one that hurts my heart. And they said this in the Q&A and I was like, no. Because bows ended up being pretty fun. Anyways, rework bow behavior to create more intentional positioning and skill-based range combat. Bows deal full damage within a certain range, but gradually lose effectiveness at longer distances, and it's fair. Introduced projectile gravity for bows. Arrows now curve downward towards the end of their range instead of traveling in a perfectly straight line. And it makes sense, guys. It just hurts my heart. It really does. It hurts my heart. Updated damage reduction scaling to prevent extreme stacking while preserving strong defensive builds. Updated shock behavior to prevent unintended multi-hit stacking in a single action. I've seen something on that. Slightly increased in-game enemy HP to better support long-term build progression and combat pacing. Cool. Adjusted lifesteal scaling to better align with the overall combat pacing. Yeah. Slightly reduce the damage of the multi-shot rune to bring it in line with other options. Increase Skyfall Shot rune focus cost to 100 to better match its power. Increased Aerostorm rune's area and damage radius. An increased stamina cost for Siren's Call and Pale Ash run attacks due to their invulnerability frames. Okay. And those invulnerability frames, right? Like, I did that all the time in Genshin, you know, which I think everybody did, right? Playing Genshin Impact, and you switch out and you use your abilities, you totally nerf or avoid damage, blah, blah, whatever. Bug fixes. There's a list here, guys. Fix the unlocks getting relocked, such as utility runes and Plague Ichor unlocks. If certain, Ichor by the way, certain items limits are reached. Fixed Fog of War, now resetting on small areas within zones, which resulted in some enemies, resources never respawning. Fixed zones being able to have a pestilence outbreaks naturally over time. Fixed enemies disappearing on death. And then fixed hard lock not enabling if moving to the right analog stick. Fixed Echo Knight's plagued projectile sometimes being invisible. Fixed players being unable to progress to the Crucible reward room if they died at the same time as Echo Knight. Fixed enemies very rarely dealing multiple damage instances instead of one. Fixed enemy element gems still granting enhanced powers and items even if you had other element gems in gear. Fixed thorns being able to give health back if you have life still. Fix the that's a loss, guys. Fix the execute infected low health enemies on damage dealt enchantment not counting as a kill. Fixed Death Spite Echo dealing 1 explosion damage. Fixed offhand items losing durability on death while wielding a bow. Fixed being able to get a gather and give challenge, which required an item that wasn't available in the game. Fixed being unable to progress dialogue when the input for it was rebound to other bindings. Fixed Skyfall Shot being unable to give health if you have life still. Fixed Plague Smite being unable to give health if you have life still. Fixed the Myth Grove Binder's second and fourth attacks, often not hitting certain enemy hitboxes. Alright, and we continue on. Fixed being unable to slot Ilaria's stamina-based runes into bows. Fixed Ground Slam runes hitbox being too big. Fixed the Fetid Club's charge attack hitbox being extremely large. Fixed bow model coming away from the character during Firefall rune. Fixed Hunter's Mark buff disappearing when player unequipped a quiver. Fixed barrier getting removed when changed to the quick use item. Fixed bosses being able to drop multiple of the same unique item. Fixed lava geysers in the Nameless Pass during Faith and Flame, not dealing any initial damage and only applying the fire buildup. Fixed the Primus Bane cutscene, post deserters pulling others' plays into it, and even when they weren't nearby. Fixed arrows that are embedded and players showing during cutscenes. Fixed discovery tutorials showing up as an additional side tutorial again. Fixed friendly map markers disappearing if a player leaves the session and rejoins. And then of course, fixed the scribes table's use prompt not being localized. Fixed issues with the ultra wide aspect ratios not working correctly. Fixed the rune input overlapping with rune input and consuming stamina if held. Removed food recipe loading screen hint. Fixed grammar errors of multiple loading screen hints. Fixed torn grub host exploding multiple times when the received damage at the same time via thorns or other enhancements. Fixed being able to hear other players. Changed crucible chambers while outside of the crucible. That's hilarious. Fixed multiple colliders and lighting in areas and cinematics. Fixed issue with multiple areas where you could see out of world if you were at certain angles and distances due to recent updates to performance. That's interesting. Fixed being able to climb trees and then get out of bounds in Marne Woods. I had no idea. Fixed being able to climb Balak Tall Nest platforms and get out of world. People just want to break the game, man. That's all they want to do. That's hilarious. Fixed being able to climb rocks above lumber mill and get out of bounds areas and lowland meadows. Fixed being able to get into the hunter's camp elevator too early by jumping into it from the cliff above. Fixed a dog patrol path post Faith and Flame to stop it from walking into a barricade. That poor puppy. Fixed being able to get completely stuck by jumping behind one of the wooden posts near the mountain gate in the Nameless Pass. And then fixed being able to get stuck behind a tree in Urbane Glades. Fixed being able to get stuck in falling animation and then stuck outside of the knot house. Fixed being able to get stuck in falling animation behind Gordon's pantry. And then fixed being able to get stuck in the rocks by jumping from the rookery. Wow. If there's anything on that list that you know about that's a bug that didn't get fixed, that's reliably triggered, just triggered, period, honestly, make it known. These guys are listening. They clearly have put in a lot of work, and that just cracks me up. Like, people love breaking the game. That is absolutely hilarious. Whew. They are hard at work. They are doing a lot. A little bit of a confession from me. I haven't played too much No Rest for the Wicked lately. I'm excited for the updates and the changes. And I honestly want to see all the changes implemented before I really play and get too invested in it. That's just me personally. That's how I am. That's how my ADD mind works, and I know it. Like, if I get into it and I do it and then they change the whole system and I gotta do it again, it's a bit perilous for me. But this game is phenomenal. I'm so eager to play. I'm so excited. I'm really struggling. I'm really trying my best to be patient. And this fix is really baiting me back in all this different stuff. This patch, not this fix, this patch. And I can't wait to do all this. I have yet to even play it as a co-op. I've only played it solo so far. So I can't wait. This is phenomenal. These guys are killing it over at Moon Studios. Make sure you check this game out. If you're not already, I'm sure if you're here watching this video, you already know. And you're already invested. You're probably already playing. You probably already put hundreds of hours in. And my hat goes off to you, because that is phenomenal. I can't wait to get back at it. I can't wait for this class system. I kind of want to know more about it. I'm a bit desperate. I'm checking daily, looking for it. I would have got this video out sooner, but I have to work for a living. And so I was surprised. You know, they normally post their stuff around like 1 p.m. and such. And so I think this one made it out around closer to 3. It was like 2 something. But regardless, like, it surprised me. I didn't know. It felt like a bit of a shadow drop. I know there was an announcement that was coming, and it was known. Yeah, but regardless, this is fantastic. There's a lot here. A lot that's been changed. A lot's been updated. Get at it. Drop down in these comments and talk about it. Tell me everything you think. I'm so eager to hear your feedback. This is fantastic, guys. No Rest of the Wicked's killing it. All right. If you think I'm worthy, drop me a like and subscribe. It really makes the world to me. Means the world to me. Makes the world too. And yeah, huge shout out and thank you to my soldiers. You guys and gals are the ones that keep the content flowing, me going, and everything rolling, and keep the lights going, guys. So I'm really grateful for y'all. Thank you so much for your support. And if you too want to support the channel, make sure you check out the description for all the ways that you can. Until next time, guys, I will catch you later. Bye.